Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy that I can spend some time with you. Today I'm going to be doing the hashtag Altered Index 2025, and this is hosted by Nonstop Paper Crafts, and her name is Susanna. So thank you so much for hosting this challenge. I'm really enjoying this. I have done it a few weeks now. I wasn't participating right from the beginning, but I've done a few weeks, and it's been so much fun. Here's the one that I did last week, was the fairies, or fairy tale, I think, and solar system. And what else? Sewing was one. Elephants. Anyway, it is just a lot of fun, and I am totally enjoying it. So today's prompt is foreign language, but before I do anything else, let me read God's word. He shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways, Psalms 91:11. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me, Psalms 27:5. So beautiful. All right, so I have some shout outs. Susan Gazaway, Tammy, Deb's the Creative Book Shack, and Deb's, I need to apologize to you too, because yesterday when I read your name off, I totally said your channel name wrong, and I'm so sorry. And I did the same thing to Candy. I apologize to both of you. And Candy from Candy's Crafty Creations, Gwen, and Simply Cassie. She is new to the channel. I don't know that she's a subscriber, but she did comment. And so welcome, Cassie, to my channel. I hope you enjoy my videos and will return. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. So I just welcome all my subscribers. I appreciate you all so very much, and I hope that everybody's having a great day. All right, so let's just get started on this here today. So I don't really speak any other languages. I just am not gifted in that area. I took a few years of Spanish, and my husband was Spanish speaking, so I learned a little bit, but not enough I could carry on a conversation. I tried French when I first went to college. When I was going for that dental assistant course, French was one of my basic courses I had to take. And maybe I just wasn't interested in it at the time. That might have been it, because I had romance on my mind. But at any rate, I have some little French. They're, I think they're like vocabulary books. I got 4 of them. They were very reasonably priced, and they came from actually Michigan State University, their used bookstore. And you can get some pretty good buys from there, and the shipping is free, so that's nice. So anyway, I'm taking this old page. I don't know how old this book is, but the paper is pretty aged. Let me see if there's a copyright. It's just interesting to know. It looks like 1958. This might have been that printing. Maybe I should have used this fit in here. I think maybe I'll use this page instead. So yeah, the paper, I love the color of the paper. It's so pretty. So I'm using French. I'm going to save this page. And my daughter and I, when we went to well, that's not really going to work very well. When we went to Europe a few years ago. France was our first stop. And we found the French people very interesting. And of course, neither one of us could speak the language, but my daughter is much, she has a kind of an ear for languages. And even though she doesn't speak them fluently, she understands quite a bit and can pick up quickly. And so we found that the French people were much more they didn't seem to really care for American tourists. I don't know the history behind that or why that was true. But we did find, I'm just going to glue this on here and then cut around it. We did find that the people in general were much nicer and friendlier if you at least attempted to speak their language, because a lot of them could speak English very, very well. Some didn't, of course. They only spoke French. But we found that if you tried to use some French words, that they probably found it amusing. But they were much nicer, because they could be a little rude, and I don't say that to be mean. It's just the way that they were, you know. And like in restaurants and stuff, they're paid just a flat rate, whatever it may be. It's probably not what their work is really worth, but it's just a flat rate. They don't get tips, so they don't go out of their way to be, you know, like really friendly and attentive or anything. They take your order, they bring you your food, and that's pretty much the way it goes. But we really did enjoy France. We totally did. We stayed at this Airbnb our first couple of nights there, and it was the hostess's name was the Blue Lady. Well, that's kind of what she went by, because she dressed in blue. Her hair was dyed blue. She wore these beautiful blue contacts. She was a little eccentric, but she was super nice. And her home was all done in blue. She was a younger woman, you know, maybe in her, well, not that young, but she's just, you know, probably about 40. And so she was super nice, and she spoke perfect English, perfect English. And she had these two big dogs. One was an older dog and one was a younger one. And we just really found her to be so nice, and it was so pleasant to stay there. She didn't provide, you know, breakfast or anything like that, but that was okay. We could manage that on our own without any problems. But it was just a pleasant stay. The room was comfortable, you know. Her other guest at that time was actually a friend of hers, who was an airline pilot, and she had an overnight stay, so she always stays there when she's in Paris. But one of the things that we enjoyed the most about Paris was, of course, Versailles. And Versailles is not actually in Paris, it's kind of on the outskirts. And we both loved it. We fell in love with the whole history of it and the whole story behind it. And you know, we really want to go back one day. I hope that we can, because it was a wonderful trip. So I'm just going to put a few things down on here that I was going through. I made a French journal several weeks ago, and so I've got had some ephemera left over from that. So I'm just going to put some of these pieces on here. I got to remember where my little hole is. So this is just a little picture of the Eiffel Tower with a postmark on it. And then I found this. I thought this was cute, the fancy French lady, and I'm sure that's French writing behind it. So I thought I would put her on here. And then here's a photo that it didn't come out very well because I printed it on my printer. It's just printed on coffee paper, but of the copy paper, and it's of the Eiffel Tower, and I was like standing kind of below it, and looking up at it, it's really much bigger in life than it appears to be. So I'm gonna stick this back here somehow. Maybe put this right here. Put the Eiffel Tower in the background. I don't know, maybe I've got too much going on here. And I like this little birdie too. I don't know what it has to do with French, but I think it's cute. So I filled my glue bottles and put new tips on them. I added some acetate to my Fabri-Tac. I tried to shake it up, but it gets so thick. I had diluted this with Fabri-Tac with acetate once before, and it helped. But over time, I haven't really been using that much Fabri-Tac. Is probably part of the reason why it's gotten so thick. So I just diluted it some more. I've got my fall journals that I really need to get finished, so I'm going to work on those today. I've kind of the last few days let my little dog come back upstairs after he's eaten and gone outside, because I don't like to leave him downstairs. He's not by himself. It's kind of silly, right? We spoil our pets, they're our babies. And actually, he's been doing pretty good. He doesn't know that he's doing good. It's just that he ends up taking like his morning nap or whatever, and he comes alive again. All right, so let's see what we can get on this little card here. I'm not working with a full sheet of paper. Maybe just put the Eiffel Tower in the background. Then layer these. If you've been to Paris, then you know how the Eiffel Tower, how you get to the top of it. And I'm telling you, it's kind of scary, to be honest. These cars that they use look like they're many, many, many years old. But I'm sure they've been updated over the years. And you just crowd you in there. I mean, you're literally just packed in there like sardines. Literally, you're just like boom, boom. And they tell you before you get on, to guard your personal belongings, because they do have a lot of theft that happens on those cars because people are so packed in there. And they slowly take you up to the top. Or as far as it goes, it doesn't go all the way to the top. And the night that we went, it was extremely windy and cold out. And so they had kind of closed the very top. You could walk up there, but you couldn't take the elevator or anything. I think that's the way it was. Oh, that little bird is right there. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it at this. Simple. Just simple, simple. So there's my Eiffel Tower, and this must have been a little postcard or something. And then here's a fancy French lady with her extraordinary hat on, and there we go, my French grammar words behind. So let me glue all this down. I'm going to use my glue for this. I ended up putting a smaller, I like this tip. I'm not sure where I got this tip. tap. I've only got 2 of them. Put this right down here. It was quite beautiful lit up, and it was very exciting to be able to go up and to see it from the top and look out over all of Paris. We had such a good trip. It was so much fun. So many wonderful memories. I know I talked about it yesterday too, and with some of the couple of the pictures that I used, but you know, good, beautiful memories like that are wonderful things to have. So I know this is very, 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 very simple, but sometimes simple is fine. It's good, I think. So there we go. I've got glue all over the place. So there's my card for this week, foreign languages. I've got my foreign language in the back. This little picture, or it must, like I said, it must have been a postcard, you know, a picture taken of a postcard. And this French lady with her hat, and there we go. All right. So that's all I've got for this video, and I appreciate you watching so very much. If you haven't subscribed, please give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe. And you know, there's still time to enter the giveaway if you want to. Tomorrow is Wednesday, the last day. I'm going to close it out on Wednesday, and there's not that many entries, so I'm just going to put the names in a bag and have someone draw them for me, and maybe I'll do that while I'm doing a video. I'm not sure if I will or not, but anyway, if you still want to participate, please watch the video from Saturday, making ephemera. I think making it, I don't remember what it was called, but it was in the morning, and it was about in reference to my green fall journal. And leave a comment saying happy birthday, and be subscribed, be 18 or older, and that's all that you have to do. All right, everyone, I love you all so very much, and I appreciate you. Thank you for being with me today, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.